What it do? We're back. We're back. I know it's been a while, but this one I'm gonna try to keep short because the other videos, honestly, they've been running longer than I want. So, without further ado, today's video, it's about purpose. The main point here, everybody has a different purpose, okay? And if you don't feel like you have a purpose, you do, and I'm gonna teach you how you can start to kind of figure it out. And then I'll talk about the problems of like doubting your purpose. So the main problem that a lot of people have is that they listen to the world and they listen to society, which at this point it's like so foolish. Like, look at society, bro. Like, we got Sam Smith dressing up as the devil on the Grammys. We got Lil Nas twerking on the devil. We got Lizzo. We got all of this like crazy, like, I'm gonna say it, degeneracy going on. Okay, so if you're listening to society and you're like, oh, well, society tells me to do this, and you still don't have any second thoughts about like following what societal norms tell you to do, or like, like, you kind of like just like, you gotta figure it out. Otherwise, you're gonna end up like trapped in the system. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be in a cubicle and stuff. Like, you watch those deep videos about life and society, and you're chasing the money and the corporate guy keeps you on the leash. You know what I mean? And maybe that'll be me. Maybe that'll be me for some point, but eventually I'm gonna break out of it because it's what I gotta do. Okay, it's what I gotta do. But society, as far as like social, tells you you should have a bunch of friends. Not everybody's meant to have a bunch of friends. Look at Robert Oppenheimer. I read this quote from him when I was reading his Wikipedia because he's got a movie coming out about him soon. So I looked him up. He said, when they asked him, like, I never see you hanging around people. Like, I never see you with any friends. He said, I don't need friends. All I need is atomic physics, or like nuclear physics, because he was the guy who invented the atomic bomb. And so society would tell you to look at that guy and be like, what a dork, what a nerd. Well, no. What if maybe God's purpose for him was to invent the atomic bomb? That was his purpose. So what if he doesn't have friends, right? Same situation for you or me, right? Maybe God's purpose for us is to, go out there and change people's life. Maybe we're not meant to be out there in the club or out there having parties or drinks or, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you are. Maybe that's who you're meant to be, right? So never feel like you're not fitting in, because if you're not fitting in, your purpose probably just isn't aligned with that stuff, and society is going to keep telling you this stuff is what's going to make you happy. If you don't have friends, you should be so messed up, like, oh, you're really screwing up if you don't have a lot of friends. No, maybe you're just meant for other things. I don't think Genghis Khan or, any of these people that really changed the world were Mr. Buddy Buddy out there at the club having drinks and all the stuff that the world tells you to do, right? I look back at high school, like, I knew everybody and everybody knew me. I would come around lunch, but I never had like a friend group. And still, even after high school, I don't have any friends from high school, right? And probably in college, actually I'll have a few, but I don't really have any friends, who I made there. And society will tell you, oh, you're a weirdo then. Oh, something's off. No, bro, maybe my plan is just greater. Maybe my plan isn't even greater, it's just different. You know what I mean? So never doubt yourself as far as like having friends or having, a lot of money. Maybe the world tells you get a lot of money, but maybe your purpose is different, right? I mean, Nikola Tesla died broke and he invented electricity, and I'm sure that at points he was like, why do I not have a bunch of money? What the heck? But he was like, he focused on what he had to do. Okay. All right. Next thing. I always talk about this thing. Purpose and grind. You gotta find your purpose and you gotta grind. All right. First thing, before I even get into that, finding your purpose stuff. Grinding alone, even if you don't know your purpose, just grinding it's by itself at like the standard stuff that you should be grinding on, school, gym, that kind of stuff. Trying to make money, working for the man, right? Just grinding alone, you're going to be like way, way, way happier. Even if you don't know your purpose, even if you don't know what you're trying to do in life, even if you don't know what God's mission for you is, if you just are working harder, your results are going to increase and you're going to get happy just looking at the results, right? And like, for things like school or the gym or anything, it's like, how I studied for 2 hours in medical school a day, or like how I, you know, 8 tricks I use to maximize leg growth in just 20-minute workouts a day, 7-minute workout. No, bro, no. Just grind hard. Like if you work for 8 hours a day, there's no way you're not gonna improve. If you're in the gym for 8 hours a day, there's no way you're not gonna improve. If you're studying for 8 hours a day, there's no way you're not gonna improve. So literally just grind as hard as you can. All right. Don't worry so much about like, your purpose, your greater purpose. Just think about what goals can you set for yourself, and just what habits can get you there. And for most people, at least most men, it'll be like, physical fitness, peace of mind, work hard in school. What can I do to get there? Study more, work out more. Boom. Right? So purpose will find you when the time is right. Purpose. So there's this guy called Robert Greene, right? And he wrote the book 48 Laws of Power, which is a big book. And it's banned in prisons because it's like, people can use it to manipulate people. And the guy basically studies human nature. So he's read like every history book on every powerful person in the world, stories about them. And the book just details things like that. So he has another book called Mastery, which I haven't read all of it, but I've read like some of it, if I'm honest. And one of the things that he was talking about is like finding your purpose starts with like what you enjoyed as a child. So like, just take some time like after the video or whatever, and just think about like what made you happy and excited and like gave you life as a child. Because, that phrase right there is very important. Gave you life, right? Some people, get life, or like they feel energized and they feel happy by, studying. Some people feel it by the gym, whatever. I personally feel it by talking to a bunch of people. I talk to the waitress, I talk to the guy on the street, and it just makes me happy. Whenever I'm tired in class, I walk into the next class and I'm like, what's up, everybody? What's up? And just acting like that and being like the light of the room and like, trying to give energy boosts me up, And when I look back as a child, I always liked, I guess, like the attention, from my classmates and stuff. So it's like this seed that was planted in my childhood, nowadays I find that this is the thing that gives me life. And so where can I go with that? And I'm thinking like I talk about it here is like, I like being giving a lot of attention, but what I value even more is relationships. And I feel like what really makes you happy in life is relationships for everybody. Okay, I know earlier I was talking about not having friends and stuff, and maybe that isn't your purpose, right? Maybe your purpose is you don't need relationships, you're going to invent the atomic bomb. Maybe, okay? But I think things like a wife, kids, girlfriend, good friends, those are the things that really add a bunch of value to your life. If you got a bunch of Ferraris and cars, but, everybody around you doesn't like you, and you don't like anybody, I think you're going to be unhappy. But I mean, what I was saying earlier still stands. Like maybe your purpose is something different, So again, not to go off on that tangent, look back at what you enjoyed in your childhood, right? For some people, they enjoyed arguing, they enjoyed debating a lot, and as they grow up, maybe they get fired up when they have political discussions, and then maybe they'll want to grow up and work in law, work in politics, right? Same thing over here. Maybe what brought you a lot of joy as a child is figuring out stuff on the computer, like, I don't know, fixing your mom's PC. You get older, you join a coding class, you really like it, and now where can you go with that? You can go into computer engineering or something like that, and if you still haven't found a purpose, don't worry, because it's gonna find you eventually. I watched this video it was called Bob Marley Quotes 100% True, and he said a lot of stuff in there I really liked. And I guess when I quote Bob Marley, some people are going to be like, he's a pothead. Why are you quoting a pothead? But he's kind of a wise dude. Like, we don't really have that in today's society of, like, people that are, well, I mean, maybe you could say we still have potheads, but okay, I digress. Anyway, what Bob Marley said was, the child grows, but what he was meant to be is just a grown-up version of the child, So I guess that means that we don't have free will, in a sense. Like, you're born like this and you're going to grow up and still be like this, only a grown version of it. So again, look into the child and see what the child like to do, and then see what you like to do as you got older, and then it'll help you to find what you should do in your future, right? And so just don't let all of the hubbub get to you. Don't stress about this kind of stuff. But that's just kind of what I mean by purpose and grind. how do I find my purpose, why you should stop, feeling like you're lost and directionless because society's telling you to do this crap. Don't listen, bro. Don't listen. Look at society. Depression rates are going to the moon, bro. It's bad. It's bad out here. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. They tell you, hey, watch social media. It's very good. I love it. Yeah, spend 3 hours on Reddit every day. No, dude, no. Well, I don't know who's saying that, but some people are feeling like that's okay because I guess society to some extent is like saying that that's okay instead of completely rejecting it, which they should be. They should be completely rejecting social media because what is that doing for us? But instead it's like, it's complete silence or like an acceptance of it. Anyway, all right. Love everybody, man. All right, fit check.